Welcome back to Nuclear News. Things are really starting to heat up for the nuclear space, with the Sprott Junior Uranium Miners ETF outperforming the stock market up 21% year to date, the S&P 500 only up 10%. And this is why I say things are heating up, because Biden officially signed the ban on imports of Russian nuclear reactor fuel. Russian supplies of enriched uranium to be barred in 90 days. Move could boost costs for U.S. nuclear plants, risk retaliation. So what boosted costs for U.S. nuclear plants means is that nuclear plants are going to have to pay more for a more expensive uranium. And that's obviously going to mean more revenue for the miners. All at a time when uranium could not be scarcer above ground. Look at domestic uranium production in the United States for the first quarter of 2024, barely moving the needle. 82,533 pounds in one quarter versus nuclear reactor fuel requirements of 50 million pounds per year. So uranium in the United States is extremely scarce, and they just cut off a primary supply of uranium. It really doesn't get bigger than that in terms of increasing the scarcity of uranium and therefore the price of uranium. We also have NextGen announcing strategic purchase of 2.7 million pounds of uranium with issuance of 250 million convertible debentures. So they're buying up scarce uranium. The Sprott Physical Uranium Trust also buying up scarce uranium. So people will be fighting over this scarce above ground resource, all at a time when demand is growing exponentially. And when I say exponentially, I don't mean the beginning of the exponential curve. I mean the end of the exponential curve where it's vertical, because Silicon Valley finds its silver bullet in desperate race for energy. So the US, the world is desperate for energy. Where are they turning? Tech giants bet on a nuclear revival to power the supercomputer revolution. So it's not only an important power source, it's going to be the most important power source, which means uranium is going to be the most important resource to power the world. Does not get bigger than that in terms of demand, right? So we have huge developments on the supply side, huge developments on the demand side. And we have Sam Altman taking nuclear microreactor company Oklo public, right? This is the founder of OpenAI. He sees the future. He understands how important energy is, and he's going big and supporting small modular reactors. So the Sam Altman microreactor company going public via SPAC ALCC. Look at what's been going on with the price action of this stock. Since February 2024, it's gone from $10 to $18 because you have one of the most important companies on the planet supporting it. OpenAI and its major investor Microsoft are reportedly developing plans for the world's biggest supercomputer. Analysts at Morgan Stanley speculated last week that this would be powered by several nuclear plants, right? So that's just one early stage small modular reactor stock with major backing. Obviously, we don't like to chase stocks, so would welcome a stock market sell-off to pick up stuff like this cheaper. And at the same time, we have competing small modular reactor companies launching, like Nano Nuclear Energy officially hitting the NASDAQ and trading under the ticker NNE. This one's even more early stage with a market cap of $94 million, whereas we don't fully know what the final market cap is going to be of Sam Altman's small modular reactor. But then we have NuScale, just to complete the circle here, of small modular reactor assets at a market cap of 650 million, right? So this NNE, extremely early stage, we have a brand new industry boosting the demand for uranium. Now, while these small modular reactor stocks are currently unprofitable technology with big valuations, there's deep value in this space. And it's in the assets that control the fuel that's going to power this massive boom in nuclear energy. So we have 11 insiders buying energy fuel stock after Congress approved Russian uranium bans. 11 separate energy fuel insiders reported buys. The largest buy was attributed to the president and CEO. And UUU stock is down by 16% this year. So there's deep value in the assets that are going to control this resource. Peninsula Energy, another one, look at its all-time chart. It's practically never been lower. 5-year chart, again, banging along the bottom. All while this Australian company, Peninsula Energy, targets 85 million pounds of uranium in northeast Wyoming. So this is a story all across the US, all across the world. We have deep value uranium miners that control one of the most valuable resources on the planet. Still in the early stages of the mass adoption of this technology and the mass scramble for this fuel. China and France aim to strengthen nuclear energy cooperation. China's CGN and France's EDF have signed a letter of intent on deepening and expanding cooperation on nuclear energy. So, two of the most influential countries on the planet uniting in their desire to increase nuclear energy around the world. Japan will likely restart the world's biggest nuclear plant this year. Unbelievable fundamentals, unbelievable weekly news.